2 blocks, 4 minutes to the ADL office where we're going to be attempting to deliver a petition with 20,000 signatures telling ADL to stop funding the deadly exchange between US and Israel. From Palestine to Mexico, all the walls have got to go.
So somebody answered in security and said that they cannot accept the petition.
When I asked him to come address us in person, this is the gesture he made.
What happened was what is expected and typical of folks who have their hands in war.
So these exchanges have been happening since the early 2000s in full force, although occasionally before that as well. And what they are trips that are funded, fully funded for cops, ICE, FBI, and other law enforcement agencies to travel to Israel, or to Palestine, I should say, and for Israeli military and security agents as well to come to the US so that they can exchange tactics.
The erasure of our identities. The fact that only some of us can move and travel and some of us can't. Some of us are deemed undocumented on this side of the land and cannot go back home because we can't come back, because our movement is controlled. That's the deadly exchange.
The ADL is one of the largest private spying operations in the United States. And that's not about safety, that's harm. And so the ADL has this long history of violating people's rights and spying on people in the name of safety and upholding civil liberties. And so I had a list of 37 organizations that the ADL has spied upon, and I realized that I can't read them all, but I'm going to share a few. Arab Americans and the Arab American organizations, the ACLU, the NAACP, the United Farm Workers, the National Conference of Black Lawyers, and the National Lawyers Guild, to name a few, just a few.
Because see, this system is working perfectly. They know when fire comes around, they gotta sound their alarms because they get scared. That knows that we truth out here. That knows that we're strong out here.
First about the ADL. The ADL, when the South African apartheid regime was still in power, they used their resources to spy on activists and to send over their information to the South African government. I think about this at the same time that I see South Africans out in the streets for Palestine, because they realize that this is how we get freedom. The difference between transactional solidarity and transformational solidarity. Transactional solidarity is where you come to my event, I go to yours, we trade things tit for tat. And that's not what we need to do. What we need is transformational solidarity, where we recognize each other as human beings who deserve to be free from injustice. And I say what is happening to you is wrong because it is wrong. And that is what Palestinians need to do for the violence facing indigenous communities here, like undocumented people here, and the black community here in Los Angeles.
ICE and Customs and Border Patrol participate in ADL-funded exchanges. This is why we're here today, to call on the ADL to end their participation in the violence against immigrants.
Brick by brick, wall by wall, apartheid has got to fall. Brick by brick, wall by wall, apartheid has got to fall. Brick by brick, wall by wall, apartheid has got to fall. Brick by brick, wall by